yeah, I found it really disrespectful that they didn't. I know they're all in Lisbon sipping tiny little coffees or whatever they're doing out there. But I found it really disrespectful they didn't actually, you know, get one of theirs to come out and greet the military families. It's quite sickening. But I think I'd like to say it's interesting for me because the last time I was at a demonstration like this, I ran the risk and was promised, you know, that I would suffer the consequences. And they promised me 10 or more years in prison for doing what I did. But I followed through and kept going. Thank you. And it's funny because it looks like, you know, I'm not in prison all of a sudden, and it looks like that they rolled over in the 11th hour. And I'd say the role of coward has been thoroughly recast in this drama. And I'm going to read out a letter on behalf of a relative of someone who's in Afghanistan now and a career veteran, so it's straight from the horse's mouth, and it's very, you know, powerful. And these are his words. He says, firstly, this war for Britain and the USA is already lost, in spite of both countries telling us the opposite. Yet the cowardly and spineless people who got us into this slaughter in the first place intend to send young soldiers to a painful and frightening death, right up until 2014. It defies belief. Cameron and his followers have no intention of stopping this illegal conflict. Why won't these sadists go to Afghanistan and help in the fighting? I think it's a bloody good question. They're afraid to get our troops out of any war zone for fear of America. Our governments are again afraid to admit they're both wrong about Afghanistan and Iraq. In the meantime, corpses on both sides pile up. What a terrible disgrace and a stain on Britain. Please do not believe the reasons Cameron and his, and I quote, I agree with it, loonies, say we're in Afghanistan. They're liars, and time will prove this. This sadistic lot in power in Britain will not pull out when they say they will. Don't believe them. It's only the people of this country and the people of Afghanistan who can do it. You can stop this madness, otherwise what we have is a Vietnam situation. Thank you, and thank you from me. Cheers.
Protests for peace in Parliament Square have been going on for years in spite of attempts by the authorities to remove them. And I know that they're well known internationally and much admired. It's a great pleasure, therefore, to welcome Maria from Peacestrike, one of the groups participating in those protests in Parliament Square. Maria.
Thank you very much. I promised the ladies, so I'll just say Saturday the 11th of December there's a day of for Shaka Armour for the close of Guantanamo, and that's happening in Battersea. She asked me to mention. So I've listened to all the speakers today, and the common theme and why we're all here is because we want the troops home. Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah!
Okay. So how desperately do we want these troops home? Do we mean it?
Yeah!
I'm from the Peace Strike campaign. I've been on strike for peace for 4.5 years. I petitioned, I've gone to all the meetings in Parliament, we've been on all the rallies, the marches, I've read all the documents, everything to do with the war, the illegal war in Afghanistan, the illegal war in Iraq. If you notice, I've got a white flag. It's not a surrender flag. This is a flag, I'm coming in peace. What we need to do, we need to remodel the peace movement, because we have not been able to achieve what we all set out all those years ago, and that is to stop a war. And this is what we need to do. We're launching today internationally what's called the White Flag Revolution. It's a real revolution. It's starting right now, and after the rally, we want people to march with us down Whitehall. Okay? And what we want is, we've got authorization. So there's nothing to be fearful about. We just have to be brave to do the right thing. But listen, our government is not listening to us. They don't care what we think. They don't care that we're having this meeting today. They don't care that we are desperate to get the troops home. Only the people of this country, ourselves, the ordinary people, are going to get our troops home. right? It's not going to happen otherwise, but we've got to mean it and we've got to empower ourselves. So what we're proposing is we're going to march after the rally down to Whitehall peacefully, right? We have no arguments with anybody. We don't have any arguments with the police. We have no arguments with the government, because we've got one simple demand, and it's not for negotiation, it's not for discussion. We're going to go down to Whitehall and we're going to say peacefully on the one issue which the majority of this country stand by, and that is that we do want the troops home and we want the war in Afghanistan to end. So, are you going to be with us coming down there? Because, you know, the time for talking is over. We now have to start walking and taking our message to our government that we really do mean what we say. As I say, it's peaceful, it's nothing to be worried about. I'll take responsibility. What we're going to do, we're going to set up tents in Whitehall. We're going to ask people to stay. A lot of you don't know about this today, so we won't expect you to stay because, you know, obviously you've got plans and to get coaches. But this movement must carry on. We're not going to be there indefinitely. We're not there to become a tourist attraction. Okay? We need to mean the message that the war must end. Only we can do it. We need, in a short period of time, between a week, maximum 2 weeks, we want to burst the whole of Whitehall and Westminster with people, so that our government has to act and it has to carry out the will of the people. So I want you to join us this afternoon and carry this message down to Whitehall with us.
Maria's birthday as well today, so happy birthday, Maria.
Off we go! Was it right?
Yeah, mate, it's not inside yet though.
Let's listen to me, queen, let me tell you what me mean.
When there ain't to kill, why is a woman still not safe when she's in her home? That is